Now on Coast TV News.
Another very cold start this Friday morning. Temperatures beginning in the teens and 20s. The cold air hangs around for the start of the weekend with a milder Sunday. I'll track it on future casts coming up.
Bridge name battle, the controversy in Maryland over keeping the Francis Scott Key name as repairs continue in the wake of last year's tragedy in Baltimore.
Proposed Delaware tax hike, we break down why you could be paying more to the state when filing returns next year.
Wage wars, while hourly workers in Maryland could get more money, will businesses be able to afford to keep them if an increase goes into effect?
This is Coast TV News Today.
And welcome to our 6 o'clock hour. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. It's Friday, January 24th. Matt, it's 6 o'clock.
And it is Friday. Friday, we all have to get down with Friday. And that is all the Rebecca Black you're getting for now.
Bob, I don't know. Do we count that as singing? I don't.
We did promise 6:01 Matt would carry a tune.
Sing,
But he
yeah.
mentioned a tune, so maybe that's past, well, maybe not. Anyway, good morning, everybody. It's another cold start on our Friday. Not as cold as yesterday morning. Many of us were in the single digits, so maybe 4 to 8 degrees warmer. 11 in Salisbury, 13 in Georgetown right now, 14 in Seaford, 12 in Redden, lower 20s from Rehoboth down to Bethany Beach. At least the winds are calm or very light right now, so it feels like temperatures similar to the actual temperatures, but you still want to bundle up. Feels like 13 in Georgetown and lower 20s at the beaches. And we're looking at mostly clear skies. Still watch for some slick spots. A lot of salt on the roads, too. Otherwise, good visibility. There is a cold front back to the west. That will kind of fizzle out before it gets here, but that will kind of reinforce that chilly air as we go through the day. As we'll see high clouds periodically today, then we do get above the freezing mark, that 32-degree mark by noon, and mid-30s by afternoon. So we're melting snow. Then the sun goes down, temperatures go below freezing, and watch for refreeze. Ferry riding forecast is a chilly one. At least we're looking at light winds, mix of sun and clouds, 20s this morning, and then by early afternoon, above freezing into the mid-30s.
Thank you, Bob. Earlier this month, we dealt with a big snowstorm here. Now, unprecedented snowfall in the south this week, followed by icy interstates. And you can see here, it left truckers stranded for hours, some parked for days. These are trucks in Alabama. They are lined up, parked on the side of a highway. A spokesperson for the Alabama Department of Transportation says they did bring in extra snowplows to assist. Crews treated roads with de-icer, but AlDOT says the ice was too thick in some places.
New this morning, debate over the name for the new bridge that will replace the collapsed Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore. A bill introduced this month calls for the bridge to keep the name Francis Scott Key, and a public hearing is scheduled for this afternoon in the House of Delegates. Last year, several civil rights groups were pushing for the rename of the bridge because Key owned slaves in the early 1800s. Several steps need to occur before that bill comes to a vote.
Happening now in the Delaware General Assembly, a debate over increasing the amount of money you could pay in state income tax. This is in a bill that was introduced in the House. Currently, if you make more than $60,000, the rate is 6.6%. Now, if this bill passes, that rate would remain the same amount if you make up to $125,000. It adds 2 tiers after that. Up to $250,000, you would pay 6.75%. Over $250,000, the rate goes up to nearly 7%. The bill is now under review in the Revenue and Finance Committee.
Also happening today, Rehoboth Beach officials will hold several public hearings for previously controversial proposals. First, the Planning Commission will hold a site plan review for the proposed hotel on 1 Rehoboth Avenue. You may remember, locals in the city have been concerned with traffic, among other topics, if that business were to be approved. Also, the Planning Commission will discuss a proposal to partition a parcel of land at 87 Henlopen Avenue into 2.
Developing news in Milford, where those whose job is to protect and serve could earn more money. Right now, a citywide pay study is underway. According to the Milford Police Department website, new officers start out making $61,000 a year plus benefits. A full-time dispatcher is paid $20 an hour with benefits. People who live in Milford think the risk these men and women in the police department face every day deserves a little more reward.
So I think in today's world, police officers should make a lot more money. They go out every day and they really don't know if they're going to come home that night. I have family members who are police officers, so I could be a little bit more prejudiced, but in today's world, they need to make more than that $61,000.
At the City Council meeting this upcoming Monday, Chief of Police Cecilia Ash will provide Council with an update on the study. Once it's completed, Council will decide which positions, if any, need pay increases.
In Maryland, some workers could see a pay bump next year. Government officials in Maryland are debating major changes that could affect businesses in the state. Right now, the minimum wage in Maryland is $15 an hour, but officials are discussing an increase that would take that all the way up to $20. And that includes tipped workers, but it's not something that would happen all at once. The gradual increase to $20 an hour would take until 2030. But one local says this could hurt businesses.
For small businesses especially that don't have the largest margins, they can't afford that, and the end result will almost certainly be that some people will lose their jobs.
If you work 40 hours a week, every week at $20 an hour, you would make somewhere between $41,000 a year. If legislation moves forward, it would then go to a ballot vote in 2026.
Now taking a live look at the White House in Washington, D.C., President Trump leaving there to visit disaster zones in North Carolina and California. The president pressing forward with his agenda, but as NBC's Chris Pallone shows us, Trump is experiencing some hurdles.
And this includes a federal judge in Washington issuing a ruling that temporarily blocks the executive order ending birthright citizenship, calling it, quote, blatantly unconstitutional.
President Trump's first trip of his second term will take him to North Carolina and California. The president getting a first-hand look at hurricane recovery efforts in Asheville and wildfire damage in Los Angeles. Before taking office, Trump was critical of FEMA and appears poised to make changes to the emergency relief agency.
FEMA is going to be a whole big discussion very shortly because I'd rather see the states take care of their own problems.
The president started Thursday with a warning to the World Economic Forum.
If you don't make your product in America, which is your prerogative, then very simply you will have to pay a tariff.
The White House now targeting February 1st to implement the long-promised tariffs on products companies bring in from countries like Mexico, Canada, and China. Economists warn widespread tariffs will hit American consumers hard with price increases, but the president appears undeterred.
There will be no better place on earth to create jobs, build factories, or grow a company than right here in the good old USA.
The administration says its promised crackdown on illegal immigration is underway. As 1,500 troops are headed to the U.S.-Mexico border, ICE agents have been seen arresting migrants with criminal records in Boston. But the president's immigration agenda has hit its first snag. A federal judge temporarily blocking an executive order ending the right to U.S. citizenship at birth for the children of undocumented immigrants, a right guaranteed by the Constitution's 14th Amendment.
I was really happy to see the judge express that same viewpoint, that in 4 decades he had never seen something so obviously unconstitutional.
A setback for the Trump agenda that could go all the way to the Supreme Court. Chris Pallone, NBC News, Washington.
We're just getting started in this hour of Coast TV News today.
Coming up, businesses bloom after shutdown. We'll show you the proposed plans for the area of where the old Rose's department store in Ocean City once stood.
Also, Commission for the LGBTQ plus community will tell you how members of the group say the initiative will advocate for the people it supports.
But first, support for veterans, the event in Sussex County designed to showcase the benefits available to our vets. All that and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
The Polar Bear Plunge, benefiting Special Olympics Delaware, is one of the first state's coldest and most beloved traditions. This year, you have 2 exciting ways to take part. Plunge in person in Rehoboth Beach on Sunday, February 2nd, or create your own virtual plunge. Anytime, anywhere, and as cold or not as you want. It's not about how you plunge, it's about why. Support thousands of Special Olympics Delaware athletes. Register now at plungede.org.
Welcome to the Brush Factory. Explore our over 60 local merchants and artists, all together under one roof. You just never know what you'll find at the Brush Factory on Kings. Thank you for supporting our local family of merchants.
We couldn't do it without you. There's only one place to go for your next vehicle. I.G. Burton, Lewis Auto Mall, Chevrolet Buick GMC. Trusted since 1908 for our expert team, massive selection, and our unbeatable prices. Together, let's drive new 2024 Chevrolet Silverados up to $12,000 off MSRP. Or lease a new Buick Encore GX from $269 a month. Visit us today. And remember,
nobody beats a Burton deal. Nobody.
Nobody beats an IG Burton deal.
Turn your home into a masterpiece with Artwork Painting. Local professional painters at an affordable price.
Artwork Painting did an excellent job with our house. We were really happy with all of the pieces of work they did, the drywall work, the walls, the trim. I would definitely recommend Artwork Painting for your house.
Artwork Painting treats our customers and their homes with care, delivering quality work and experiences. Call Artwork Painting now for a free same-day estimate. Artwork Painting, keeping Southern Delaware beautiful inside and out.
Just about 6:11 on this frigid Friday morning. And breaking news, we're starting to see the boardwalk now on the Boardwalk Plaza Cam. That is amazing, and we'll see more of the boardwalk as the snow melts. But right now, 20 in Rehoboth. We've got teens inland areas, even 11 in Salisbury, 12 in Redden, 25 in Ocean City, and as we said, 20 in Rehoboth. Thankfully, winds are light, so it feels like temperatures, much like the actual temperatures out the door. We have some high clouds building in, but we're looking at mostly sunny skies for today. Cold front back to our west will kind of fall apart, but still keep it pretty chilly. And for the kiddos out the door, bundle up. Another very cold start, 14 degrees. And melting some snow. They might be splashing through some puddles, heading home, but still cold, 35 and mostly sunny.
Yeah, we're dealing with another day of cold temperatures, and we got some evidence of that. Due to the frigid freezing conditions we've had, the sand has frozen over in some places. It looked like slabs of concrete. This is in Ocean City, so a scene that we don't often get despite cold weather.
New this morning, the Delaware State Senate is sending its solar energy proposal to the House. On Thursday, the Senate passed a bill that aims to get a better understanding of solar energy's effect on utility bills, specifically the practice of net billing. That is a billing technique that credits solar energy system owners for the electricity they add to the grid. The bill will now be heard by the House's Natural Resources and Energy Committee before possibly going before the full House for a vote.
In Millsboro, veterans from across Delaware took part in a clinic showing them all the benefits they can receive.
And CoastTV News reporter Brendan Conroy shows us the takeaways from this event for our veterans.
Veterans, veteran services, those that support them. All coming together Thursday at the American Legion Post 28 in Millsboro for a veterans claims clinic. And it was a packed house.
This meeting was one of the most positive meetings that have occurred, and I've been studying this problem for 10 years.
The only way that we can drive change or take your feedback and put it into action.
The event's purpose was to show veterans all the health and financial benefits that they can receive from the state of Delaware. Plans for a micro-hospital, more outlook, other services that they are entitled to, all discussed in a presentation by Kim Butler, who works for the VA in Wilmington.
Hopefully it helps us to form deeper bonds with the community and get people to really trust VA.
For veterans who were there, they praised that alumnus feeling among these organizations.
The one thing that's important to us is that a lot of the outreach is done through organizations that already have veterans.
But they say there is always more work to be done.
Delaware receives the least amount of funding on most areas of veteran support. This is not only detrimental to the veterans, but the economy of Delaware.
These tables are cleared off right now, but I'm going to show you on your screen what they looked like while the event was going on. And veterans at the end of the speaking portion of the event had the opportunity to go over, speak to Veterans Affairs officials, and grab some goodies and their benefits for being a veteran, serving those who served our country. In Millsboro, Brendan Conroy, CoastTV News.
eBay sellers have a new hot commodity, phones with TikTok installed. TikTok was removed from the App Store on Saturday ahead of the federal ban. While the app is still available to people who already have downloaded it, it remains missing from the App Store. Thousands of eBay sellers are taking advantage of that. Listing ranges from hundreds to thousands of dollars.
Taking a trip with Mickey Mouse will cost you a little more cheese. Disney Cruise Lines has raised its recommended gratuity rates according to the company's website. The base daily rate for tips is now $16 per guest. That's a $1.50 hike from before.
Still ahead, Commission for the LGBTQ plus community. We'll tell you some of the roles the commission will take in the Delaware government.
Live look in Cambridge, seeing boats iced in, locked in their slips with frozen conditions there and pretty much everywhere. As we've gone from brutally cold to just cold for the next couple of days. Milder weather Sunday into next weekend, staying dry. Maybe some rain for the following weekend. We'll track the temperatures on FeatureCast in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
Listen to Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3. We are Delmarva proud.
Coaches make a difference for their athletes and communities, and we want to honor them.
Each month, the Preston Automotive Group will select a coach who makes a difference and donate $500 to their organization. Then at the end of the year, 3 of these coaches will receive an additional donation to their program.
The coach can be from any sport at any level up to and including high school.
Nominate your coach today at DelmarvaSportsNetwork.com.
Delmarva Sports Network's Coach Who Makes a Difference. Sponsored by Preston Automotive Group.
Who wants to drag out a bulky vacuum? Introducing Horsepower Duck, a super compact vac with ultra powerful suction. Clean up that mess in the kitchen, the spill on the sofa, even sawdust in the workshop. Just duck it up. The compact design can reach the tightest places, so store it in any drawer where it's always at your fingertips. You can even store it in your glove box for the ultimate car vac. The HEPA filter helps remove dust and allergens. Plus, it dumps out with ease, so it's ready to clean again. Get the Horsepower Duck hand vac for just $39.99. Order right now and we'll upgrade you to the Duck Pro package, a $30 value, yours free. You get the bendable tube, the crevice nozzle, and the soft brush nozzle, but supplies are limited, so there's a strict limit of 3 ducks per order. This may be your last chance to get yours at this low price, so don't delay. Duck it up today.
Call 1-800-581-3085 or visit duckback.com. So call 1-800-581-3085 or visit duckback.com now.
When choosing windows and doors for your home, at Pella, it's your choice. We manufacture maintenance-free vinyl, fiberglass, and wood-clad windows and patio doors, all with lifetime warranties. High performance, energy efficient, and loaded with options to help make your house your home. Industry first features and benefits make living easier and increase your home's value. Visit our Experience Center or call us today to schedule your free in-home consultation where we bring the showroom to you.
Download the free CoastTV First Alert weather app today.
6:17 on this Friday morning, and we're getting a look high above Laurel and western Sussex County, and it's because it's still dark. We don't get that color scene right now. Bob, it's also cold, just not as cold.
It's just a different degree of cold, Matt. You know, we go from brutally cold to just cold, and that's where we're at now. And then we'll start to warm up as we go into the weekend. We're already starting that warming process. Look at this. Most of us about 5 to about 10 degrees warmer now than we were this time yesterday. The exception is Ocean City, a little bubble of cold there still. I mean, we're all cold, but temperatures trending upwards as we go through time. And the storyline today through Saturday, it is dry and still cold. We'll be melting snow to the afternoon hours with highs in the mid-30s. Then by Sunday, more clouds, and I think we'll bump our highs into the 40s, melting even more snow at that time. But we're locked in with the ice now. Look at these temperatures: 13 in Georgetown, 11 in Salisbury, 14 for Ocean Pines, with Ocean City at 24, 20 in Rehoboth, and 16 in Milton. Thankfully, the winds are calm for most of us, just a little breeze along the coast. So it feels like temperatures, thankfully, pretty much like the actual temperatures. Feels like teens, inland areas, and lower 20s at the coast. And looking at the satellite picture, seeing a lot of white here. It's just all that cold air reflecting back to space. There are some clouds, some mid to high level clouds that are building in, even maybe a few snow flurries, probably drying up before they get to I-95. Some snow showers across the mountains to the west as we have a cold front that will move our way but kind of fall apart as it does so, but reinforce that cooler air. But behind this, we're looking at a lot of clear skies. So I think our weather is looking nice and quiet as we go into the upcoming weekend. Then a warm front heads in on Sunday, more clouds and warming temperatures at that time. But this morning on FeatureCast, we're slowly rising through the 20s, mid to upper 20s by 9. By noon, 32 to 33 for most of us. So we're starting to melt that snow, and a little more so by 2:30. A few clouds out there, otherwise mostly sunny, around 34 to maybe 35 in some places, depending on if you see full sunshine. Remember, anything that melts will refreeze once the sun goes down. We drop below 32 42. So heading out to dinner tonight, wherever you're headed, watch out for still some slick spots as temperatures falling through the 20s. By midnight, I think we could be looking at clouds holding our temperatures a little bit up. And then we go into Saturday morning. Here's 7:30, and I think a lot of inland areas into the teens, and then we're in the lower 20s as temperatures slowly climb. And then by noon tomorrow, lots of sunshine, but another cold day with 20s to low 30s. And then I think mid-30s as we go into Saturday afternoon, maybe a couple degrees warmer as we go into that time period. Then even warmer into Sunday as we're starting in the 20s and 30s. And by afternoon, I think we're at least upper 30s and low 40s, probably mid-40s at that time as the warming trend continues. But feels like temperatures in the teens this morning, 20s and 30s as we go into the afternoon hours. So a little more tolerable this evening, and then feeling like teens and maybe even single digits for a time tomorrow morning, and then feeling like 20s and 30s as we go into your Saturday. Here's our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, the 29th through February 2nd. Still temperatures below normal, not brutally so though. I think we're pretty close to normal. Those normal conditions a little farther to our south and west, and then warming up through time. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, mid-30s today and tomorrow. More sunshine Saturday with a high of 36 after a cold start at 15. By Sunday, 46, and we're mid to upper 40s Monday through Wednesday. Lots of sunshine Monday, close to 50 Tuesday, 48 Wednesday, and then turning a little colder again by Thursday, mostly sunny and 40 degrees.
Thank you, Bob. First ever LGBTQ plus commission is coming to Delaware. Former Governor Bethany Hall Long, in her brief time in office, created the 9-person commission through an executive order. Here is some of what this commission will do. It will advise the governor, policymakers.
We are to advocate for awareness and protections for the community against bigotry, violence, hatred, and other forms of discrimination. So having that conversation out loud and making sure that all voices from all segments of the community are heard is crucial.
Lediger says the commission will also handle data surrounding hate crimes bias.
The executive order also calls for members' terms to be 3 years. There will be public hearings surrounding problems and topics in the community, and the commission will establish and promote programs and events that create awareness of the LGBTQ plus community.
And this brings us to our CoastTV poll. We want to know, will a state LGBTQ commission effectively address LGBTQ plus challenges?
And so far, our results say 60% say no, while 40% of voters say yes. And if you haven't voted yet, you can still do so at coasttv.com or on our mobile app. And 2 Salisbury University students involved in an October assault of a man have now pleaded guilty. Court documents say 19-year-old Sean Antone and 20-year-old Logan Clark pleaded guilty to false imprisonment. The pair will spend 2 days and 68 days, respectively, in prison, plus probation. In October, prosecutors say 15 SU students were involved in luring a man to an off-campus apartment. Investigators say the 15 students assaulted the man after deceiving him into meeting a fake 16-year-old boy through a dating app.
After the break on CoastTV News Today, businesses bloom after shutdown. We'll tell you what could take the place of the old Roses department store in Ocean City.
If you don't know what to do this weekend, don't worry, we've got you covered. All the cool things to do are coming up next.
Stanley Steamer is proud to be the leader in deep cleaning, cleaning over 1 million homes and businesses across America every year, using powerful equipment custom built by us. We'll remove the buildup of dirt, dust, allergens, grime, and contaminants seen and unseen from your home and business. America's professional deep cleaner for over 75 years. It's not clean until it's Stanley Steamer clean.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner. Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Hi, I'm Chris Adams, owner of Mattress Peddlers, your local family-owned starter mattress retailer. Did you know there are multiple types of adjustable bases to choose from? And they're not just for hospitals and grandparents, but for hard-working folks too. If you suffer from any of these, or if you use pillows to keep yourself comfortable at night, it's time to consider an adjustable base. Get informed, try them out, and adjust to sleep better tonight.
Mattress Peddlers.
For more information, visit delmarvaexperts.com.
Flashing lights. See them, and you know to go slow.
Now we put that same technology in the palm of your hand with Lizard Flare. It's the high-tech safety flare with no flame. Lizard Flare uses 15 high-intensity LED strobes that can be seen nearly a mile away, and a powerful magnet that sticks to your car without exiting the vehicle. Look, flares are dangerous, but Lizard Flare won't let you down. A dead battery, an empty gas tank. With Lizard Flare, help is on the way. Lizard Flare Pro has an ultra-bright flashlight too.
Get your Lizard Flare for only $9.99, but wait, Lizard Flare may be discontinued. Due to rising costs, Lizard Flare is stopping manufacturing effective immediately. There is a strict limit of 2 vehicle packs per order. Call now.
This may be your last chance, so call 1-800-604-4696. That's 1-800-604-4696 or visit lizardflare.com now.
Her son had a big time problem.
I noticed that he was missing the watch. He said he had left it at the defendant's house. He said, I don't know what happened to the watch.
Then time slipped away.
A week passed, so I gave him another call. Days went by, I called again.
Now it's crunch time.
He admitted to me that he would replace the watch because his brother stole the watch. Different story. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
Next, Judge Judy.
Friday at 2 on CoastTV.
When one door closes, another one opens, and that's exactly the case for one lot in Ocean City after the beloved Rose's department store closed. The Ocean City Planning and Zoning Committee met to hear plans of filling in 3 open parcels within the lot, upgrading an existing Acme at 1 parcel, and building housing on 2. Joe Moore is the lawyer representing the applicant for these plans.
I think it provides the area where people can shop conveniently with their townhouses behind, and even pedestrians coming there.
Work for the approved plans will begin as we get closer to the springtime and the warmer months.
We are joined again by First Alert meteorologist Bob Try. Speaking of warm, best beach day of the week.
Woo, sounds great. Yes.
Beach umbrella. Let's go.
Yes.
Sunscreen. I guess it's a best beach day because it's creeping above freezing today. All right, yeah, so we're getting there. It's starting out cold, though, in Assateague and Chincoteague, lower 20s for you. Then here come the mid-30s. We're creeping above freezing into the afternoon. Some high clouds, at least the winds are light. Fenwick Island and Ocean City, very cold start, but then into the mid-30s this afternoon, about 1 to 2 foot waves, and a warming trend the next 3 days on the Bayside. Cambridge, mid-30s today and tomorrow, and then mid-40s. We really accelerate the snow melt on Sunday. Similar conditions in Crisfield, mid-30s today and tomorrow. More clouds on Sunday and 44, even warmer into early next week. Much more in your forecast coming up in the next half hour.
All right, looking forward to that. Dust off your boots, bring your appetite, or just stay cozy on your couch. This weekend's lineup has plenty to offer.
And Coast TV News anchor Christina DeRobertis has your cool things to do.
Well, break out your cowboy hat, get ready for a rootin' tootin' good time because this weekend the Lone Star Rodeo is back in Salisbury. Bull riding, barrel racing, rodeo clowns, and more all at the Wicomico County Civic Center Friday and Saturday. And show off your rodeo style because your outfit could earn you the title of Best Dressed Cowboy or Cowgirl. Another multi-day event this weekend, Tendy-thon in Rehoboth Beach. You can catch a glimpse of these cuties on Saturday if you head over to the Lewis Ferry Terminal and cruise out into the Delaware Bay for a seal watching tour. At Lulu Ross Elementary in Milford, it's the Multilingual Learners Olympics. The annual event brings multilingual students together for academic competitions, plus offers health and community resources. Finally, if you're just feeling like staying on the couch this weekend, you can tune in to Coast TV for episode 1 of The Swift Effect. The show looks at Taylor Swift's journey through the entertainment industry. Tune in Saturday at noon. And for some more details, just head over to coasttv.com and click on Cool Things to Do.
Here at North Bay Marina, we know that boaters have the most fun.
It's been a tough year, but we couldn't be more thankful.
Yeah, with your help, we've raised more than $350,000 for Bless Our Children.
Hey everyone, Elisa Titus here, Director of Marketing for Shell Brothers. We'd like to thank all the businesses, individuals, groups, and associations who donated $1,000 or more to the Bless Our Children campaign this Christmas. It means so much to our local community.
Your generosity allowed us to give holiday funds to local charitable organizations on Delmarva. You can feel proud that you helped make the season brighter for many local families on the peninsula.
On behalf of WBOC, CoastTV, DSN, and Shell Brothers, a heartfelt thank you to you all. Bless Our Children is administered by the Draper Holdings Charitable Foundation.
Water, nature's ultimate cleaner. We drink it, we bathe in it. Think water, think steam, think clean. Now harness the power of water with the H2O X5 5-in-1 steam cleaning system.
I'm so impressed with the X5.
It's an all-in-one product. I can use it throughout my entire house.
It's cleaning, it's sanitizing, there's no chemicals in it. It's just steam.
This is unbelievable. There is no more odor. You could spend over $500 to purchase the products that the X5 5-in-1 Miracle replaces. Order your H2O X5 steam cleaning system, a $500 value, for just 4 easy payments of $43. Order now and we'll upgrade your X5 package. We'll add a 6th mode with a dusting and polishing wand. Valued at over $30, this extra bonus attachment makes your H2O X5 the H2O X6. That means your 10-piece system becomes a 12-piece system at no extra cost to you. All for just 3 easy payments of $43. Call or click right now.
Hi, this is Jimmy Hoppa inviting you to join us as we take the cross to the country. Christian country and Southern gospel, all to celebrate our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Taking the cross to the country, Sunday mornings at 8 on Coast Country, sponsored by Fitzgerald Salvage and Recycling.
Now on Coast TV News.
Another very cold start this Friday morning. Temperatures beginning in the teens and 20s. Bundle up. The cold air hangs around for the start of the weekend with a milder Sunday. I'll track it on Futurecast coming up.
California rain worries why a wet forecast there could create more issues for areas destroyed by wildfires.
Restaurant regulation revamp, the move underway in Delaware that could cut through the hindering of businesses by bureaucracy.
Milford police pay why backing the blue in that city could lead to more bucks for those who protect and serve.
This is Coast TV News Today.
January 24th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
Time is 6:32. It is conference championship weekend in the NFL. The NFC game, that one has plenty of attention here with Washington and the Eagles.
Who do you have for that one?
I know our producer Alyssa is a big Eagles fan, but I'm actually feeling Washington. They're just on this ride. It's a magical ride they're on.
And
Sorry,
then,
Alyssa.
And then the Bills and the Chiefs.
I'm rooting for the Bills.
Me
I don't
too.
think that one's going to come through.
They can't be mad at us, though. We're just Cleveland Browns fans.
Yeah, what happened? Browns and Jets, AFC Championship. We both had that one at the
beginning of the year. Come on, Bob. One day, Bob. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be around that day, but maybe one day. But I do like Washington and Buffalo in the Super Bowl. That's my pick, yeah. So we'll see. We're looking at very cold conditions out the door this morning. 11 in Salisbury, 13 in Georgetown, 17 in Milton, 21 in Bethany Beach, 20 in Rehoboth. We are about 4 to 8 degrees warmer right now than we were yesterday at this time. So temperatures are trending upwards. Winds are light, so it feels like temperatures are similar to the actual temperature. Feels like 11 in Salisbury, 13 in Georgetown, 14 in Seaford. You still have to bundle up out there. We have good visibility, just a few high clouds floating through. Otherwise, mainly clear and just cold. Seeing some flurries west of D.C. right now. There is a weak cold front pressing through the mountains, and that will kind of fizzle out as it gets closer. And we're not going to see that snow. That'll dry up before it gets here. But we'll see some clouds this morning and temperatures warming slowly through the 20s. And then by noon, we're cracking that 32-degree mark. We are going to melt more snow. And by mid-afternoon, I think 33 to 35 for most of us. But be careful. Anything that melts will refreeze as temperatures fall back below freezing this evening after sunset. It's a frigid start. A lot of salt on the road, still some slick spots, so take it slow out there for the morning commute. That's why I gave the yellow light, and then still cold as we go into the afternoon and evening, and watch for refreeze after sunset.
Thank you, Bob. And new this morning with rains forecasted for this weekend, there's a new concern about the potential of mudslides and floods near the burn areas for those recent California fires. The burned mountainsides left exposed dirt that could turn into mudslides, causing flooding. So LA County has been clearing debris basins and streets.
Happening today, the debate over what to call the bridge in Baltimore that's replacing the collapsed Francis Scott Key Bridge. A public hearing is scheduled for this afternoon in the House of Delegates on a bill that was introduced earlier this month. The bill calls for the bridge to keep the Francis Scott Key name. It was last year several civil rights groups were pushing to rename the bridge because Key owned slaves in the early 1800s. Several steps need to occur before the bill comes up for a vote.
Also happening today, Rehoboth Beach officials will hold several public hearings on previously controversial proposals. First, the Planning Commission will hold a site plan review for the proposed hotel on 1 Rehoboth Avenue. You may remember locals in the city have been concerned about traffic, among other topics, if that business were to be approved. Also, the Planning Commission will discuss a proposal to partition a parcel of land at 87 Henlopen Avenue into two.
New this morning, next year when filing your state taxes, you may be paying more to the state of Delaware. This is in a bill introduced in the House. Now, currently, if you make more than $60,000, the rate is 6.6%. This bill adds two new tiers. If you make up to $250,000, you could end up paying 6.75%. Over that $250,000 mark, the rate goes up to nearly 7%. The bill is now under review in the Revenue and Finance Committee.
Also new this morning, making it easier for small restaurant businesses to thrive in Delaware. According to the General Assembly, legislation has been introduced that aims to get rid of, quote, unnecessary burdens. The legislation states that a new task force has until June 2026 to identify the barriers, make a plan to reduce them, and decide if funding would be needed.
More people moving to Milford could be more problems, and typically that means busier police departments.
As CoastTV News reporter Emin Aiken shows us, a new study is evaluating the pay for those positions that protect us.
The city of Milford is in the middle of a pay study that evaluates how much people are and should be making. That includes the police department. Michelle Rudzik hopes the study means more money in the pocket of the protectors.
So I think in today's world, police officers should make a lot more money. They go out every day and they really don't know if they're going to come home that night.
According to Milford PD's website, right now, new officers make $61,000 a year with benefits. But depending on how this study goes, that number could be bumped up.
My personal feeling is they should be probably making more for what they have to go through. Dealing with homeless people, drunks, alcoholics, mad people, I couldn't do the job.
At a city council meeting this coming Monday, the chief of police will present an update on this pay study, and according to the department, once it is completed, certain positions could be in line for raises. In Milford, I'm Emma Aiken, Coast TV News.
We are now taking a live look at the White House, and President Trump is wrapping up his first week in office with more executive orders and pardons. The president pressing forward with his America First agenda, while some Americans push back, including a federal judge in Washington state who issued a ruling that temporarily blocks the president's executive order ending birthright citizenship, calling it blatantly unconstitutional. The temporary restraining order sought by Arizona, Illinois, Oregon, and Washington was the first to get a hearing before a judge and applies nationally. 4 other lawsuits challenging the executive order have been filed from 22 states and a number of immigrant right groups.
I was really happy to see the judge express that same viewpoint, that in 4 decades he had never seen something so obviously unconstitutional.
The setback from the Trump agenda could go all the way to the Supreme Court.
Got a lot more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, Higher Ground Losing Leverage will tell you how the organization is working around an emergency order that is about to expire.
Also, Blue Jays on a roll, how the Seaford girls basketball team pushed their winning streak to 6 games.
But first, Seaford snuffs out crime. We'll show you the new technology the department says will help them get more real-time information on the city. Stay with us on Coast TV News Today.
Taylor Swift, she is just at the peak of all her powers right now.
How has she been able to change the game with her fan base, with her music? That's a Taylor Swift effect.
The Swift Effect, Episode 1, Breaking the Mold, this Saturday at noon on Coast TV. Sponsored locally on Coast TV by Pohanka Kia. Shop online at pohankakiamd.com.
Delmarva's hit music station, 102.5 WBOC.
Stay tuned to get a free automatic toilet bowl cleaner from Mermaid. Your sink stopper's broken, and fixing a drain is a pain. Introducing Mermaid Drain Magic, the instant solution to most broken drains. Just remove and replace. In seconds, you can fill and drain with a simple press of a button. Drain Magic makes replacing your old, broken, rusty, even missing sink stoppers fast and easy. Drain Magic's anti-clogging basket helps prevent clogs in your sink, catching hair, food, even jewelry. Made with brass and chrome and a silicone gasket, it creates a watertight seal. Order your Mermaid Drain Magic today for only $19.99 and get a Mermaid toilet bowl cleaner absolutely free. Drop it in the tank for up to 3 months of cleaning. But wait, this could be your last chance to get Drain Magic at this low price with free toilet bowl cleaner. There's a strict limit of 3, so order now.
Call 1-800-944-6857 or visit GetDrainMagic.com. So call 1-800-944-6857 or visit GetDrainMagic.com now.
Turn your home into a masterpiece with Artwork Painting. Local professional painters at an affordable price.
Artwork Painting did an excellent job with our house. We were really happy with all of the pieces of work they did, the drywall work, the walls, the trim. I would definitely recommend Artwork Painting for your house.
Artwork Painting treats our customers and their homes with care, delivering quality work and experiences. Call Artwork Painting now for a free same-day estimate. Artwork Painting, keeping Southern Delaware beautiful inside and out.
Almost 6:41 on this very cold Friday morning. Tyndall's Casual Furniture Camp. Starting to see daylight in Laurel. At least the winds are calm, but boy, 14 degrees there. We're in the teens, inland areas, 13 Ocean Pines, 20s along the coast from Ocean City up to Rehoboth. Thankfully, the winds are light or calm, so feels like temperatures much like the actual temperatures in the teens, with mostly clear skies, just a few clouds out there. There's a weak cold front back to our west. That's going to fall apart. A little bit of snow shower activity west of D.C., but that's going to fall apart too. Today's checklist: don't need the snow brush, but you need the ice scraper. You need that fob for that remote start on the car. That's important. Hats and gloves, cover the exposed skin. That's important. Make sure you have a cup of hot chocolate or coffee out the door, and make sure you have your sunglasses as well. Call the Coast TV First Alert weather phone, another way to get your forecast, sponsored by Brockstead, Mandalis, Federico.
Thank you, Bob. New technology is helping police make more arrests and stop crime in Seaford. This is the Seaford Police Department's real-time crime center. And with help from automation company Flock Safety, the department has centralized 21 cameras and 7 automatic license plate readers across the city. Whether at the police station or in a police car, operators and officers can now access information from the cameras and readers at any time.
We already had the cameras in place that are installed through the city, but they're in one location. We have them and we have that access, but to go through a list of cameras when we can see a map of exactly where they're at just speeds up that information.
The system was installed last June. It includes access to officer body-worn cameras and floor plans for every school in Seaford.
This weekend is a big one for football fans. We got the conference championship games on our sister station, Fox 21. You can watch the NFC championship game. That's between Washington and the Eagles. That's at 3. And then on our sister station, WBOC, you can watch the AFC championship game as the Buffalo Bills attempt to end the reign of the Kansas City Chiefs. That game is at 6:30.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good morning, sports fans. Seaford girls basketball aiming for win number 6 in a row and their second versus the Bulldogs of Laurel this season. Getting to the first quarter of action, Kamira Cornish-Bain of Seaford drives the baseline and banks in 2 4-0 Blue Jays. Shortly after, it's Autumn Camper of Laurel on the fast break, outruns the Blue Jays and lays in 2. Bulldogs down by 7. Later on in the first, Kamira Cornish-Bain of Seaford lets it fly from inside the arc, putting the Blue Jays ahead 19-2. Next possession, Laurel's Ashlyn Ullman feeds Destiny McCrae, who gets the bucket. Bulldogs behind 19-4. To the second quarter, Seaford's Amira Tinkle from downtown banks in the triple as the Blue Jays win 54-13. To Woodbridge, girls basketball visiting Del Mar. The Wildcats hoping to collect their second win over the Blue Raiders this season. But it was Woodbridge coming into this matchup firing right out of the gate. Jayla Crum-Jones shoots from deep and sinks it in to start the Blue Raiders with 3-0 lead. Just less than 30 seconds in, then with 6:20 on the clock, it's Ayani Hunt finding Deja Dalton, who hits it from the charity stripe, tying the game at 3. And then it's Jada Plummer slinging it to Crump Jones, who hits it from deep again. Moving to the second, the Wildcats built themselves a lead. Avani Brown drives the baseline and hits the spin jumper to make it 16-8. And then sitting behind the three-point line again is Crump Jones, who cans it from deep to make the score 20-11. And Del Mar goes on to win 41-23. That'll do it for sports. Have a great day.
And coming up tonight on DSN at 7 p.m. live, Henlopen Conference Boys Basketball when Cape hosts Dover. Then for a full recap of the action tonight, it's the final score at 10:30. On the DSN Plus app, you get that Cape game, and then you also get these exclusives at 4. It's EZAC Girls Basketball. St. Peter and Paul taking on Gunston School. 5, Delaware High School Wrestling, Sussex Tech home with Del Mar. More wrestling at 7, Laurel visiting Sussex Central. Also at 7, we have Henlopen Conference Boys Basketball, Sussex Central traveling to Smyrna.
We're starting to see some daylight right now on the tunnel and Razor Cam, a frozen in Roosevelt Inlet as it's cold, 22 in Lewis, even colder inland. We've gone from brutally cold to just cold the next couple of days. Milder weather builds in the latter half of the weekend into next week. Staying dry, maybe rain next weekend, but all in all pretty quiet. I'll take a look at your temperatures and sky conditions in your forecast coming up in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
Coast TV First Alert Weather. Your safety, our commitment.
Find your next job at the Delmarva Job Fair, sponsored by the Stokely Center and the Maryland Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services. Join us Saturday, February 1st from 10 to 2 at Delaware Tech in Georgetown. Employers in healthcare, construction, retail, and more. Plus, the Delaware Department of Labor will also be on site for resume tips and advice to help you stand out. Take the next step in your career at this one-day hiring event. Learn more at WBOCevents.com.
The sound you hear is your house being eaten away by termites. When you've seen one, it's already too late and the damage has begun. To avoid permanent damage and to keep your home protected for years to come, call the specialist at Bennett Termite and Pest Solutions. We have the tools, technology, and experience that has raised the termite control and treatment standards on Delmarva. Call the experts at Bennett Termite today.
Remember, Delmarva, quality isn't expensive, it's priceless.
Are you having trouble hearing your TV or listening to conversations in loud spaces? Then it might be time to consider Nano hearing aids. Nanos are FDA-registered OTC hearing aids. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids. Prescription hearing aids could cost $3,000 or more. Nano hearing aids are now offering $100 off through this special TV offer. Call now and get 2 CIC rechargeable hearing aids for only $297. And if you're not happy, return them for a full refund.
Listen to Big 107.7, Delmarva's Classic Rock Station.
Ready to have some fun? Yeah. Somebody's having a night tonight. I love this win.
Friday at 7 on Coast TV.
The competition heats up.
Ain't no party like a Jeopardy party.
The Jeopardy Champions Wild Card Tournament begins.
All bets are off. Anything can happen.
Friday at 7:30 on Coast TV.
The time is now 6:47, and we're taking a live look outside at Rehoboth Beach this morning. Bob, that is a beautiful sunrise. 2 for 2, past 2 days. I was hoping for it. All right, I get the sunrise. Matt doesn't. He's jealous. Yes, he is. But that sunrise is beautiful.
Sunrise.
I know. Well, hopefully the sunrise is also warming it up outside too.
We need to get a sunrise camera from Matt. You know, once he sings this song, he's got to keep his promise there. Then he gets a sunrise camera. We are looking at cold conditions out there this morning. Today through Saturday, it's dry but still cold, but I think we're melting snow with highs in the mid-30s. And then Sunday, more clouds, not as cold. I think we'll be getting into the 40s, and then several days will be in the 40s, but we're far from that right now. It is really cold once again. 13 in Georgetown and Ocean Pines, 11 in Salisbury, 12 in Redmond right now, 20 for Rehoboth, Ocean City 24, 13 in Ocean Pines, Thankfully, we're not dealing with any kind of brutal wind chills. The winds are basically calm, just a light breeze along the coast. So feeling like teens and 20s, it feels like temperature pretty close to the actual temperature because of the lack of wind. But our 24-hour temperature change about 5 to 10 degrees warmer in Salisbury, Georgetown, and into the eastern area. A little colder around Ocean City, but the trend is for warmer conditions. As we're looking at mostly clear skies right now, some cirrus clouds floating in, but that's about it. And it looks like some flurries trying to move into the Baltimore area. We're probably looking at these flurries just kind of evaporating as we go through time. It's called Virga. We do have a cold front back to the west. That will kind of fizzle out as it heads our way, but still pretty chilly today. And then behind this system, we're looking at clear skies and high pressure and looking pretty quiet into the weekend. Futurecast, we're warming slowly through the 20s today. Some high clouds by noon creeping above the freezing mark into the low 30s and then mid-30s mid-afternoon around 33 to 35. And whatever melts will refreeze as we go through the evening hours. And temperatures a little slower to fall tonight, I think, with the cloud cover and shifting winds. But by Saturday morning, it's still chilly into the teens and 20s. And then another cold afternoon tomorrow with mid-30s, but we're still melting the snow. And then more of a substantial warm-up on Sunday, beginning in the low 30s, and then topping out at least in the 30s and low 40s. I think we could be into the mid-40s. What feels like temperatures in the teens this morning, 20s and 30s this afternoon, and still pretty cold into Sunday morning, maybe feeling like single digits, and then improving conditions after that, with below normal temperatures in the long range into next week, but not brutal temperatures like we've been seeing. Paul Davis, 7-day forecast, cold mid-30s the next couple of days. One more cold morning tomorrow morning, 15, and then 36 Saturday, 46 on Sunday with clouds, and then upper 40s Monday through Wednesday, maybe 50 Tuesday, and then another cool down by Thursday, mostly sunny and 40 degrees.
Thank you, Bob. And while we are expecting a bit of a warm-up, the temperatures still remain cold, dangerously cold at night, and an emergency overnight shelter status for one Georgetown nonprofit is about to expire. Lou Hernandez, director of Higher Ground Outreach, says he hopes to work with the town again to provide shelter in cases of severe weather.
Maybe we can work out where the wind conditions permit it, when the conditions are bad in the weather, snow, ice, hurricane, whatever type of severe conditions, that we can continue to open up again and keep people safe until those conditions clear up.
The town manager, Gene Dvorak, told CoastTV that they are considering an emergency plan.
And Higher Ground Outreach accepts donations from the community on a weekly basis. People can drop off clothing, coats, shoes, and warm meals. The only day you can't drop anything off is Wednesday. That's when they're closed. And along with Higher Ground Outreach, there's other organizations in Sussex County, such as Code Purple, that also provide warm beds during the winter time. And visit our website, CoastTV.com, to learn how you can volunteer at shelters like Code Purple and Higher Ground Outreach. And the time is now 6:52, so we're going to check in with our Coastal Pet of the Day.
And today's Coastal Pet of the Day comes to us from the Brandywine Valley SPCA. On your screen, that is Squash.
So cute.
Squash is an active, playful boy. He's a big fan of treats. I am too,
That
coincidentally.
smile.
And playing fetch out. That's a great smile.
It is.
Please, somebody, you have to
You
adopt
have to.
Squash. You can visit the Brandywine Valley SPCA to do that, but somebody's got to take that guy home.
Look at that. You have to. You can't say no to that face. And we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva, so send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen.
You can scan that QR code. That way you can get your friends to us here, and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
I think Squash is smiling because he knows there's warmer weather on the way. Sun's up in about 20 minutes or so. Beautiful shot in Rehoboth, 20 degrees there as we go from brutally cold to just cold for the next couple of days. Milder weather Sunday and beyond, and staying dry. Maybe some rain next weekend as Groundhog Day gets closer. I'll have your 10-day forecast coming up next. Stay tuned.
Did you know after the fourth missed mortgage payment, pre-foreclosure starts and you're headed to auction? This will ruin your credit and make it hard to buy or even rent in the future. To stop the foreclosure, look into a loan modification, file bankruptcy, or call a professional home buyer. You don't have to lose your home, but you do have to act fast. Delmarva Dave is here to help. For more information about Delmarva Dave, visit delmarvaexperts.com.
It's the incredible Red Dog, the amazing universal socket tool that fits, grips, and tightens virtually any fastener. Look at all the different sizes and shapes, nuts, bolts, and screws. Any head will do. Red Dog grabs on tight and locks into place fast. It replaces hundreds of different tools, yet it's smaller than a battery. 54 telescoping steel pins mold around any object. Then, up to 150 pounds of torque knock out rusted fasteners. You can get Red Dog for just $19.99. Breaking news: Red Dog may be discontinued. Due to supply chain shortages, Red Dog is stopping manufacturing immediately. There's a strict limit of 3 per order while supplies last. Order now.
Call 1-800-519-7208. That's 1-800-519-7208 or visit byreddog.com. Call 1-800-519-7208 now.
Come out for the Delmarva Shorebirds Hot Stove Banquet, Thursday, January 30th at the Waikamaco Youth and Civic Center. Get your tickets today, which includes a buffet-style dinner and your opportunity to meet Orioles manager Brandon Hyde. Plus, there'll be a cash bar and silent auction with sports memorabilia from your favorite MLB and minor league teams. Proceeds benefit the Shorebirds Fly Together Fund. Tickets available now at theshorebirds.com. Basketball is back, and it's nothing but net on the Delmarva Sports Network. From tip-offs to buzzer-beating plays, don't miss a moment of the action. High school hoops all season long on DSN and DSN+.
The time is now 6:55, and here are the things you need to know before you go. New this morning, debate over the name for the new bridge that will replace the collapsed Clancis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore, and a bill introduced this month calls for the bridge to keep the Francis Scott Key name, and a public hearing is scheduled for this afternoon in the House of Delegates. And last year,
Today, Rehoboth Beach officials will hold several public hearings on previously controversial proposals. The Planning Commission is holding a site plan review for the hotel proposed at 1 Rehoboth Avenue. Some people living in the city, they've been concerned with traffic, among other topics, if that business were to be approved. Also, the Planning Commission is discussing a proposal to partition a parcel of land on Henlopen Avenue into 2 parcels.
developing news in Milford, where those whose job is to protect and serve could earn more money. Right now, a citywide pay study is underway, and at the City Council meeting this coming Monday, Chief of Police Cecilia Ash will provide Council with an update on the study, and once that's complete, the Council will decide which positions, if any, need pay increases. And the time is now 6:56, so let's take a quick look at your forecast before you head out the door.
Yeah, Blake Shelton has this song, Bringing Back the Sunshine. How about bringing back some
Are you
40
gonna
degree
sing?
temperatures?
Are you gonna sing? You gonna sing?
In a couple minutes.
We'll have to wait until Sunday for that, the 40s. But until then, it's just plain cold. Guys, we're looking at teens this morning, but you see temperatures and wind chills pretty much matching. That means the winds are light. We go from teens to 20s and then mid-30s as we go into the afternoon, melting some of that snow. Feels like temperatures in the 20s. Remember, anything that melts will refreeze. 15 Saturday morning, Paul Davis 10-day forecast. 36 on Saturday. Then we're into the 40s Sunday, right through Wednesday, maybe 50 on Tuesday, cooling down the end of the week. And then by next weekend, it's Groundhog Day, Sunday, 50, and maybe rain by that time.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News Today.
Yeah, the Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m.
Then we'll be back for Coast TV News Midday at 11.
Until then, have a great Friday, everybody.